Okay, so angles. So what is an angle? So an angle is something that is formed when two lines meet at a point. So we could have a line going down. Let's say this is A. Let's call this B. So this is line AB. Let's say another line meets also at the point B. Let's call it C. So when two lines meet at a certain point, an angle is formed between them. And what an angle this tells us is basically it tells us how much would you, or the basically tells us the amount of degrees you'd need to rotate one of these lines, either AB or BC, let's say BC in this case, by how much, or yeah, by how many degrees would you have to rotate BC so that it ends up on top of BA. So that is one form or definition of what an angle is. So the three angle laws that you'll have to learn are the following. So we'll discuss them briefly. Angles around a point is the first one. So angles around a point. So just like we discussed that this line and this line met at a point and an angle is formed between them. So you can have many lines meeting at the same point. So let's say that all these lines are meeting at this point. Let's call this point B. Just keep that in your mind. So an angle is formed between these two lines, between these two, and these two. It says this angle A, B, C, and D. So by this law, if you had to add all these angles together, A plus B plus C plus D, you would get 360 degrees. This is the first law. So angles around a point, you can say that all around this point over here, angles around a point add up to 360 degrees. So we could have an example. Let's say we just have three lines meeting at the same point. Let's say we have 40 degrees, 130 degrees, and we want to know what x is. Well, if we add all of these three angles together, we should get 360 degrees. So 130 degrees plus 40 degrees plus x has to give us 360 degrees. Therefore x is equal to 130 plus 40 is 170. So I'm going to say 360 degrees minus 170 degrees, and that will give us 190 degrees. So that's how we do it. So we know that this is 190 degrees. So angles around a point have to add up to 360 degrees. That's our first theorem, or law. Our second law that we're going to have to abide by is angles on a straight line. Okay, so angles on a straight line. So we could have a straight line going like such. We could have some various lines meeting at a point on this straight line. Let's call it A, B, C. Angles on a straight line must add up to 180 degrees. So A plus B plus C, if you add all of these angles together, it must give you 180 degrees. And that is our second law. So A plus B plus C must give you 180 degrees. So an example is we could just have one line hitting at a point on the straight line, and this could be 70, and we want to know what this angle is, x. Well, angles on a straight line must add up to 180 degrees, so x for 70 must give you 180 degrees. Therefore x is equal to 180 degrees minus 70 degrees, and that's 110 degrees. So 110 degrees plus 70 adds up to 180, which follows the property that angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. And our last law, or property for this video, is angles, let's say in a right angle, angles in a right angle. So we could, once if you're going to have two lines meeting at a point, say B, and a right angle is just an angle which is equal to 90 degrees, and it's usually denoted by a square box. Okay, so this square little box over here tells us that this angle is 90 degrees. So therefore, if we have a line meeting at point B as well, and we have an angle A and an angle B, A plus B according to this law, has to add up to 90 degrees. So if A is 30 degrees, and we had to solve for B, that means that A, which is 30, plus B has to be equal to 90 degrees. Okay, so that means that basically to find B is equal to 90 degrees minus 30 degrees, which is 60 degrees. And so 60 degrees plus 30 degrees gives you 90 degrees, which agrees with our law. So those are three properties that we want to learn. Angles around a point add up to 360 degrees. Angles on a straight line must add up to 180 degrees. And angles in a right angle add up to 90 degrees. I hope that helped. Let me know. Thanks.